All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to tackle one of the biggest, most confusing questions in all of personal finance. How much should you actually be saving? We're going to cut through all the noise and give you a simple, step-by-step plan to build the life you really want. This is it, right? This is the big question. You've probably heard a million different answers, and if we're being honest, most of them aren't very helpful. Everyone from your uncle at a family cookout to some guru on social media has an opinion. So what's the real, practical answer for you?
Exactly. You get all this conflicting advice. Some people say, oh, just save 10%. Others are super intense and say you got to save 50%. But the absolute worst piece of advice is to save whatever is left over. You know why? Because for most of us, whatever is left over at the end of the month is, well, pretty much zero.
So here's the big idea, the thing I really want you to take away from this. The secret to financial freedom isn't some magic number. It's not a percentage. It's all about building momentum. It's about creating a habit you can actually stick with. Because think about it. Save too little, you'll never get anywhere. But try to save too much, too fast, and you're just going to burn out and quit. So let's break this down into a realistic plan, level by level. Okay, first up, level 1. This is for anybody who feels like they're just getting by, maybe living paycheck to paycheck, or you're just starting your savings journey. The goal here is not to get rich overnight. It's just to get secure. So the target for level 1 is a nice, clear, simple 10% of your income. That's it. It's an achievable number. Let's break down why this specific number is so darn powerful when you're just getting started. The strategy here is just beautifully simple. The main goal, build an emergency fund. That's your safety net. The plan is to save 10% of every single cent you earn, and you do it immediately. Before you pay rent, before you buy groceries, you pay yourself first. And here's why it works. 10% is small enough that it doesn't feel super painful, but it's big enough to actually cover you when that unexpected car repair or medical bill pops up. This is your foundation. This is secure. So once you've built that foundation, that safety net, it is time to level up. Welcome to level 2. You can think of this as the gold standard for long-term financial health.
And the target here is 20%. Now, this is really the sweet spot for most people who want to build some serious wealth over time, but still have a life today.
And this is where that famous 50-30-20 rule comes into play. It's a really simple way to budget. Here's how it goes. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs. We're talking rent, utilities, food. Then 30% is for your wants. The fun stuff, like going out with friends, Netflix subscriptions, that kind of thing. And that last 20%, that's for you, your future you. That goes straight to savings and investments. At this level, the goal is all about building that long-term wealth while you're still enjoying your life right now. The plan is just to follow that balanced 50-30-20 budget. And the reality of it is really powerful. If you can consistently save 20% of your income for about 20 years, you are putting yourself on a very clear path to a comfortable retirement. All right, now, for those of you who really want to kick things into high gear, let's talk about level 3, the Wealth Accelerator. This is for anyone whose goal is maybe early retirement or just total financial independence. Yeah, you're seeing that right. We're talking about a savings rate of 30% all the way up to 50% of your income. It is a huge chunk. And let's be real, this level isn't for everyone. It requires a pretty serious shift in how you think about money and how you live your life. So here, the goal is nothing short of total financial independence. And what's the plan? You have to treat your savings like it's your biggest, most important bill every single month. You live frugally now so you can have freedom later. The reality is, this requires some real sacrifices. It might mean driving an older car for a few more years, cooking almost every meal at home, or saying no to those expensive vacations with friends. But this is how you can go from being a worker to being an owner in less than a decade. So right about now, you might be looking at these numbers and thinking, whoa, jumping from saving nothing to saving 20%? That sounds totally impossible. And you know what? You're right. That's why we need to talk about the secret little strategy that makes all of this actually work, no matter where you're starting from today. The common mistake most people make is trying to make this huge leap overnight. They go from saving 0 to trying to save 50%. Your brain literally rebels against that kind of sudden restriction, and you are almost guaranteed to fail. But the secret weapon is so much gentler and, believe me, far more effective. It's called the 1% Step Up. Look how simple this is. Step 1. This month, just start by saving 1% of your salary. Just 1. Anybody can do that. Step 2. Next month, you bump it up to 2%, and the month after that, 3%. And step 3 is where the magic happens.
Your lifestyle just naturally adapts to these tiny little changes without you even noticing. You do this, and by this time next year, you'll be saving over 12% of your income without any of the pain or suffering. It's all about that momentum we talked about.
Okay, there is one final, absolutely crucial piece to this whole puzzle. We have to be crystal clear on the difference between saving your money and investing it. They are not the same thing at all.
I love this analogy. It's perfect. Letting your cash just sit in a standard savings account really is like leaving a block of ice out in the sun. Over time, because of inflation, your money is actually losing its purchasing power. It is simply melting away.
So the very first goal of your saving, your #1 priority, is to build this, a safety fund. This is your buffer against life. It should be about 3 to 6 months worth of your essential living expenses, and it absolutely needs to be in an account you can get to easily. Once you hit this milestone, then you can switch gears.
Let's make this super clear. The purpose of saving is to handle emergencies. Its vehicle is a bank account, and its goal is security. Simple. The purpose of investing, on the other hand, is to build freedom. Its vehicles are things like stocks or real estate, and its goal is growth. Remember the order. You save first for safety, then you invest for freedom.
So if you only take one single thing away from all of this, please let it be this. Consistency will always beat intensity. It is so much better to save 5% every single month for 10 years than it is to try and save 50% for 2 months before you get frustrated and give up. Build the habit. Create the momentum.
And that really just brings us to the final question, which is for you. Looking at this whole framework, be honest with yourself. What level are you on right now? Are you building your security in level 1, finding that balance in level 2, or are you accelerating your wealth in level 3? The first step is just knowing where you stand. The next is to begin.